Hello everyone, welcome to First Gen Investing. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the status of my portfolio, how I'm ending the week, the different moves that I made throughout the week. But before that, I'm going to be mentioning two pieces of news that were pretty relevant this week. And at the end, I'm going to let you know what I'm looking forward to next week. So starting this week, we have the company Nikola. As you may or may not know, Nikola is an automotive and energy company based in Phoenix, Arizona. They were founded in 2014 by a guy named Trevor Milton. And in the past few weeks, they've been all over the news, partly because of the crazy move that the stock has had, but also because of their involvement in a huge scandal that came out just this week. Back in June, the stock reached an all time high of almost $94. And all this on the back of what are basically empty promises from their chairman and former CEO, Trevor Milton. The guy is always hyping the stock and claiming how much they're changing the world and how their company is so ahead of the competition. But mind you, they have no product out yet. So last week, on September 10, we had a massive scandal involving Nikola, caused by a report issued by a company called Hindenburg Research. The report is pretty lengthy. You can find it on their website, hindenburgresearch.com/Nikola. I recommend you read it. I'll leave a link in the description below. But the report basically alleges that Trevor Milton has consistently throughout his career been able to mislead investors into partnering or buying his companies, claiming to have proprietary technology that's way ahead of the competition, only to later on walk away from the deals and leaving their partners with massive losses. So the report titled Nikola, How to Parlay an Ocean of Lies into a Partnership with the Largest Auto OEM in America starts by saying why they believe that, quote, Nikola is an intricate fraud built on dozens of lies over the course of its founder and executive chairman, Trevor Milton's career. Uh, it says, we have gathered extensive evidence, including recorded phone calls, text messages, private emails, and behind the scenes photographs, detailing dozens of false statements by Nikola founder Trevor Milton. We have never seen this level of deception at a public company, especially of this size. So these are pretty serious allegations. And again, I recommend you read it. It's pretty interesting. It goes as far as saying how they think Trevor Milton, through dozens of outright lies, was able to form partnerships with some of the largest legacy auto companies in the world in their desperation to catch up to Tesla's EV leadership status. But one of the craziest points in this report is one related to a video released by Nikola back in January 25th of 2018, so more than 2 years ago. Um, they write that the video entitled Nikola One In Motion, released on Nikola's corporate YouTube account and promoted on social media, uh, appeared to show the truck driving on a level road at a high rate of speed. But according to a former employee who spoke with Nikola chief engineer Kevin Link, the video was simply the result of Nikola towing the truck to the top of a hill and rolling it down. I mean, how desperate do you have to be in order to do such thing? So, in an interview Trevor had back in June, he said, quote, we have trucks coming out into full production that we have with our own powertrain, batteries, battery management systems, controls. Everything is really done in-house by Nikola. So that gives you the impression that the company is capable enough of building their own trucks, all from the ground up, in-house, their own technology. Now, in the same interview, he backtracked later on and said that the trucks that the company is building are all being built and designed by a European company called Iveco. Now, this report comes only 2 days after it was announced on September 8th that Nikola was forming a partnership with American manufacturer General Motors. Through this deal, General Motors will get 11% ownership in Nikola, and in turn, it would produce Nikola's fuel cell pickup truck, the Badger, which is this one you see in the picture here. What's so surprising about this deal is that even though Trevor Milton has been talking about how much technology and intellectual property his company has, GM is the one that will be engineering, validating, and homologating and building the Nikola Badger. General Motors will take over the manufacturing of it. So I guess Nikola has no capabilities of building this truck. But anyway, Nikola replied to this report on September 14th by writing an article on their website titled "Nikola Sets the Record Straight on False and Misleading Short Seller Report." In the article, Nikola writes, quote, Nikola believes that the Hindenburg report and the opportunistic timing of its publication shortly after announcement of Nikola's partnership with General Motors and the resulting positive share price reaction was designed to provide a false impression to investors and to negatively manipulate the market in order to financially benefit short sellers, including Hindenburg itself. In the report, they also wrote a response to the allegations that the Nikola One, which is the truck that they had posted a video of back in 2018, was in fact real and not a pusher. They wrote, quote, short seller alleges that 2016 Nikola One was not a real truck and was in fact a pusher. The Nikola One is a real truck that sits in Nikola's showroom. A pusher means a vehicle that was not designed to be moved by its own propulsion system. The Nikola One was in fact designed to be powered and driven by its own propulsion. And then right after they write that as they pivoted to the next generation of trucks, it ultimately decided not to invest additional resources into completing the process to make the Nikola One drive on its own propulsion. So basically, they admitted that the truck that they were showing in the video was not running by its own propulsion. And to the response provided by Nikola, Hindenburg Research wrote another report which they titled, We view Nikola's response as a tacit admission of security fraud, addressed 43 of their 53 questions in their original report. Of those it touched on, it largely confirmed our findings or raised new questions. So the story is still developing, but this week it was reported that Nikola is being investigated by the SEC and the DOJ. So this is definitely not looking good for Nikola. And it definitely doesn't look good for GM either, since they just partnered with Nikola. I will keep you guys updated with whatever happens in this saga. In other news, we have Apple's September event, in which they released the new Apple Watch Series 6, now with a new sensor that enables blood oxygen monitoring capabilities. I think this is great timing, given that COVID-19 is still very prevalent. I think it's very useful to be able to measure your oxygen levels and potentially being able to detect early if you have contracted the illness. They also released a new service called Fitness Plus, and it's a service through which you get workouts every week and you follow along through your Apple Watch or your iPhone or your Apple TV, and your vitals and your progress gets tracked through your Apple Watch. This is very similar to services provided by companies like Peloton, so I can definitely see this in the future becoming somewhat their competition. I can also see a ton of accessories coming out to be combined with the watch, kind of like Peloton does with their bike. The next thing we have is the new Apple One subscription bundle, and this I think is one of the most important announcements of the event. This will definitely help Apple move faster into the service business model. Overall, I've seen a positive response, with the only complaint being that Apple should allow people to mix and match the services that they want. For example, a user might only be interested in Apple Music, Apple News, and iCloud storage, with no interest in Apple Arcade or the News Plus service. I think this is a good move, and it will only increase their already strong service revenue that they have been building for the last few years. So jump into my portfolio. We can see here that I'm gonna be ending the week above $400,000. This is a portfolio I've been building for the past few years. I think it's been my fourth year now in the stock market. And yeah, so this week was a great week. It started pretty good, then it went down a bit, but at the end it recovered back up. And as you can see here, I've been dabbling with options lately. So I have a couple options expiring this week, today. I have a couple expiring next week, and then a couple expiring at the beginning of October. In the portfolio, I also have a couple of other stock. I have AMD, Apple, Tesla, Disney, and then a couple of recovery stocks that have been somewhat slow, but I still have them. So, jump into what I've done this week. Starting on Monday, the 14th, I sold two Peloton contracts of 53 cents each. So I got $106 from those two. I sold 10 contracts of Oxymoto and got $100 from it. I sold five Tesla contracts for $2,100. That's the $800 strike price, expiring on October 2nd. I sold seven Neo contracts, strike price 15.5, 420. One Facebook contract for 249. I own some Square, but I also sold some put contracts. One for 113. Sold five Dropbox contracts for 105, and I bought back this $300 strike price Tesla put that I had bought back in the week before, September 11. I had sold this put contract, so I bought it back to close the position. I also bought back this AMD uh, put contract to close this AMD position that I had sold last week as well. Today I also sold one Microsoft put contract for $236, and then closed two more positions I had, two more contracts I had, uh, two with Pelotons and one with Microsoft. And for this coming week, we have obviously the big event on Tuesday. We have Tesla's Battery Day. We've been waiting for this event for more than a year, and it's been postponed over and over. But it's finally here. We're going to see all the exciting things that Tesla will unveil, and I'll consider if I want to maybe trade some more contracts on Tesla, or maybe even buy more of the stock. Other than that, I plan on probably selling some more contracts, and we'll see. Stay tuned for any updates. So yeah, it's been a pretty good week, and so this is my first YouTube video going over my portfolio. I plan on updating every week, show you the progress I'm making. I would appreciate any feedback, any comments, any critiques. Um, so yeah, leave a comment below, like the video if you liked it, subscribe, and see you on the next one.